Hello, students. This is Mr. Kraus. I want to apologize for not being in class today. Unfortunately, I have to go to some professional development for Common Core Algebra 2 for next year. So, stop the crying. Stop the crying. I don't want to see any crying. I think I see a little crying over there. Yeah, no, okay, maybe a little bit. No crying. All right, we're going to go over this. Not all of it, because that'd take too long. Maybe about 5 or 6 problems. You guys let that old guy know. He's over there. Let him know what problems you want to do. He'll go fast forward through to it. And then, when that's done, you guys can work on your practice test. The solutions for the practice test are already online, so you can go through and work on those and see how you did. And I will have given you the answer sheet, which just has the answers on it. So let's get rock and rolling. I'm going to do all the problems. You don't have to listen to all of this. Just listen to whatever you want to. And I'll smile and be happy the whole time. All right, not really. Let's see what we got here. We got a triangle. I'm going to use my calculator as little as possible, but maybe I'll use it because I've made some mistakes in the past, and I hate making mistakes. Makes me mad. Makes me a little angry. This is 3. C is 8. And angle B is 60 degrees. We have the classic SAS. Side angle side. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the law of cosines. I'm looking for the missing side, so we're going to find B. So B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine B. So B squared equals 3 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 3 times 8 cosine of 60 degrees. The nice thing about cosine of 60, since that's a half. So this might turn out to be a nice number, at least to begin with. B squared is equal to I changed this to 50. So hopefully on your notes I changed this to 50. I just realized I knew something was wrong because it says to the nearest integer and I knew that wasn't going to be what I wanted. So I want a 50 there. So make sure this has 50. If it didn't have 50, it should have. Let me make that change right now. Let me pause this. Okay, I fixed it. Printing it out right now. Maybe you can hear my printer going. It's not going to be nice. We have to type this into our calculator. And if we type this into our calculator, which is down here, let's see. We're going to do 3 squared plus 8 squared plus, minus 2 times 3 times 8 times the cosine of 50 degrees. And we get 42.14, so that's what I have. That's good. I've verified that what I have is correct. So 42.146146.194. I will take the square root of both sides. Don't forget, when you come over here and take the square root, the easiest way is to just do control division and maybe hit that up arrow once and just hit enter. It'll retype the line for you. Hit enter and you get 6.49. So I get B equals 6.49. It said rounded to the nearest integer. Wow, that would be... Oh, and I also want to change this to the tenths. So you're going to have nearest tenths. All right, so this would be B equals, I probably need a few more just to have a few more numbers. Well, I got them. It's, 2, I think 9, 2, but whatever. Nearest tenths, this would be 6.5. Done, over, let's keep moving. Hold on, I got to pause it, make that correction again. I thought I made that already. All right, I made that correction. Let's keep moving. Where's my mouse? There it is, up there. Okay, so let's see if I got this one right. Did I make any changes with this one? I did. But I have them already made. That's good. So A is, let's go A, B, C. It says A is 33. B is 7. And C, I made 35. That's good. And now we're looking for angle C. So we're going to look for angle C. So I just want to make sure that my C's are on the outside. So C squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c. Notice my c's are on the outside. But since I'm looking for an angle, I'm going to isolate the cosine c. So I want to get everything over, so I get c squared minus a squared minus b squared all over negative 2ac. And that's equal to cosine of c. In order to save a little bit of time, I'm going to type into my calculator. I get cosine c equals 100.8, nope, negative 29 over 154. Negative. The negative just means, now with cosine you're going to have to put the negative in. It's a little bit different than it is with sine, because cosine tells you that you're going to be in the second quadrant. And so I know that when I do the inverse cosine of this, I'm going to be in the second quadrant, and indeed I am. 100.85. So my answer is 101 degrees. All right, moving on. PQ is 56. The seat tube, which is QR, is 58. If PR is 67, find what is the angle between the seat tube and the top tube. So the seat tube and the top tube. So opposite of this is Q, so I'll do little q squared is equal to P squared plus R squared minus 2PR cosine large Q. I'm looking for an angle again, so you got to isolate the cosine Q. So I get Q squared minus P squared minus R squared all over 2PR equals cosine of Q. Then I'm going to type that in my calculator. Oh no, I get cosine of Q. Now that I've got it all, I'm going to put those numbers in. And that is going to be opposite of little q is 67. So 67 squared minus the other two. It doesn't matter the order. I'll just do 56 squared minus 58 squared all over negative 2 times 56 times 58. I type that in my calculator, and cosine Q ends up being equal to, looks like 2011. Oops, 2011 over 6,496. 6,496. Now I know I'm going to inverse cosine this, and I end up with Q equal to, now I know it's going to be less than 90 degrees because it turned out to be positive, and it's 71.96. So Q equals 71.96637, and we want it rounded in the nearest tenth of a degree. So I'm going to say Q equals 72.0 degrees. All right, moving down. Got to put the point 0 because that's to the tenths place. In a parallelogram. Oh, this is getting you ready for the bonus work that I'm going to have you play out because I don't have time to get it done before the test. Before we go on spring break. Anybody excited about spring break? Woo! I am. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Ooh. All right, we got this 12. We got this 20. This 12, and this is 20. The included angle is 40 degrees. To the nearest centimeter, find the length to the nearest centimeter of the shorter diagonal. Well, it should be pretty obvious that that's going to be the shorter diagonal. We'll call that, I don't know, you want to label A, B, and C? I don't really care. A, B, and C. You should call this C, so I should call this actually D. So this is little a. So we will do A squared is equal to B squared, which is B squared plus D squared. C's not even in this thing. Minus 2 B, that's a heck of a B, D cosine of A. So let me type everything in I know. I got A squared is equal to 12 squared plus 20 squared minus 2 times 12 times 20 times cosine of 40 degrees. If I type this all into my calculator, let me make sure I did it right. Doesn't take that long to do. Let's see, 12 squared plus 20 squared minus 2 times 12 times 20 times the cosine of 40 degrees. There it is. Hopefully I got it right. 176.2. I got it. Good. So I get a squared is equal to 176.298667. 298667. All right. Take the square root of both sides, and I get a equals 13.2777. Rounded to the nearest centimeter. My answer is a equals 13. Done. Done. Moving on. Sides of a triangle are 6, 7, and 9. There's my triangle. 6, 7, 9. I'll call them A, B, and C. Find the largest angle. Well, the largest angle will always be opposite the largest side. Since I made B, little b 9, and that's the largest, that's the angle opposite it will be the largest. So B squared, and I put cosine B down here somewhere, is equal to A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine B. Now again, I'm looking for an angle, so I'm going to isolate cosine B. So I get B squared minus A squared minus C squared all over negative 2AC equals cosine of B. All right, let me type all that stuff in now. Cosine of B equals 9 squared minus 6 squared minus 7 squared all over negative 2 times 6 times 7. And I get cosine of B. If I put it in my calculator, I get cosine of B equals, I got 1 over 21. That sounds funky, so let's look at it. And I want to show you guys how to do this anyway, so we're going to do control division. And we're going to do 9 squared minus 7 squared minus 6 squared. Did I use the right numbers? Yep. All over negative 2 times 7 times 6. Enter. Oh, 1 over 21. And then we're going to eventually take the inverse cosine of that, so I might as well do it right now. Inverse cosine of, and I'll click the up arrow just to get that thing highlighted, hit enter, and then hit enter again. 87.27 degrees. So this was 1 over 21, and then when I did the inverse cosine, I get B equals 87.27059733632. And let's see what they tell me to round this to. Wait. Round to the nearest tenths. All right, so B equals 87.3. Find the area of the triangle rounded to the nearest hundredths of a square meter. All right, so now let me grab a different color so you can see it. So I'll grab black. Then I get K equals 1/2 AB. Well, in this case, I'm going to do AC sine of B, because the angle we already found this angle right here. So we're going to use that. And so I get K equals 1/2 times 6 times 7 times the sine of, and I'll put this in. Go over to my calculator, and I'll do 1/2 times 7 times 6 times the sine, and then I'll go up and just click on this, enter. So 1/2 times 7 times 6 times the sine of that is, oh, I forgot to press enter, 20.976. So K equals 20.976. Rounded to the nearest hundredths place. My final area is 20.98. Moving on. I gave you a little hint on this one. Wasn't bad. So let's see what we got here. I don't like black. Let's get away from black. It tells us AD is 14 and DB is 11. Wow, that's a heck of an accurate drawing right there. AC is 15. Just so you know, that's 25. BC is 20. And they really want us to find this. I'll call it X for now. They want us to find that. Well, that's going to be kind of difficult to do. We'll call that little angle X. So what we're going to do is, like my hint says, we're going to find an angle in the large triangle. I'm going to find this one because it's opposite of X. I could have also found A, but I'm going to find this triangle. I'm going to use this one right here. So I'm not in the small triangle anymore. Let me get rid of that X because we're not going to find that just yet. I'm not in the small triangle. I'm in this large triangle right here. And I'm going to work in that large triangle right there. And so I'm going to do little b squared equals a squared, because I'm using a, b, and c, plus c squared minus 2ac cosine capital B. Now I'm looking for capital B, so I'm going to isolate it. So b squared minus a squared minus c squared all over negative 2ac is what's equal to cosine B. All right, now I start plugging stuff in. Cosine B equals, let's see, b squared is 15 squared. Be careful, use the right sides. 15 squared, and c squared, oh, minus a squared. A squared's easy, that's 20 squared. And c squared is this entire side here of 25. So we're going to use that whole thing, minus 25, all over negative 2 times 20 times 25. And I'm just going to look over at my sheet just so I don't have to waste too much time. I got 4/5. So when I do the inverse cosine of that, I get B equal to 36.86, 36.86, 989, 989, 764. Now, I didn't round it because it didn't tell us to round that, because we still need to find this right here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work in this diagram. I'm going to work in this triangle now. All right, and now I'm going to do the same kind of thing, except I'm going to look for X now. But that's not really X. We'll call that little b again. So now I'm looking for little b. So I'm going to do b squared is equal to, now remember, we're going to be in the BCD triangle, so you got to be careful. C squared plus d squared minus 2cd cosine b, or b squared equals, now c squared is 11 squared, plus d squared, which is 20 squared, minus 2 times 11 times 20 times cosine of this angle we found. That's why I didn't want to round it, because I only round at the end. So now I'm going to type all of that into my calculator. If I do that, I get, believe it or not, I get well, that doesn't make any sense. I get exactly 169. So B equals 13. All right, kind of lucky. All right, moving on. Down to the hundredths place, we got that. Okay, so we're going to find the area of triangle. Our goal is to find the area of triangle ACD. ACD, this triangle right here. Let's see what we got. We're given that AD is 11, and we're given that DB is 14 again, and we're given that AC is 35, and we're given that BC is 40. So I have, looks like side, side, side. I have side, side, side. Side, side, side is a clear case of law of cosines. Now what I'm going to do is I want to find this angle. Because if I had this angle right here, I could use that formula, k equals 1/2 the two sides. In this case, the sides would be C and D. CD times sine of A. Because we'll use this side and the angle in between. So we need to find that angle. So that's what we're going to do. But in order to do so, we're going to have to use this large triangle. So let me draw in this large triangle. I'll do it in this color. I got to work on this large triangle right here. So let's do that. I'm looking for angle A, so 40's got to go first. Oh, well, let's just write it up. A squared equals B, how do you draw B? B squared plus, wow, C squared. Now be careful, C squared is this whole thing again, it's 25. But we will put that in later. C squared minus 2BC cosine A. And so I get A, no, we're only going to solve for the angle because this is what we need to look for. This is what we're looking for, is cosine of A. So we have to solve for that. So A squared minus B squared minus C squared all over negative 2BC. That's equal to cosine A. So cosine A, let me type all this stuff in, is equal to, now A is 40, so that's 40 squared, minus B is 35, that's 35 squared, minus C, now C is that whole side, it's 25 squared, all over minus 2 times 35 times 25. And I'm going to do this all in one foul swoop, kind of show you how this is done. We're going to do the inverse. We're going to do the inverse cosine. Oops. We're going to do the inverse cosine of a fraction, control division. And that fraction is going to be 40 squared minus 35 squared minus 25 squared all over negative 2 times 35 times 25. Well, all at one time. Bam! There it is. 81.786. That's exactly what I have. Thank goodness I got it right. So angle A is 81.786, 789, 78929. That reminds me of a joke. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. So now I'm going to use this. Now I've got this. I don't know where my mouse is. All right, I'm going to use this. I'm going to plug it into this formula. I'll do it over here. K equals 1/2. Now, I'm working in this small triangle. We said we're going to use C and D. We're going to use the 35 and the 11. 35 times 11 times the sine, got to use the right formula, of A. And if I type this in, I get K equals 190.5255. Round to the nearest hundredths, I get 190.53. Kabam, there's my answer. All done. That's it. End of the homework. Have fun working on your review assignments, guys. Have fun storming the castle. See ya!